I mean, it's not like the intro has to be perfect. It never is anyways, but I always want to have it in front of me.
Right.
How about you do the intro, Sin?
I think Dez should start the intro. It would be magical.
No, I'm good.
What?
Fair enough. Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 107 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny and our love of the game. We bring on different guests and communities to learn about them, their experiences in Destiny, and discuss other topics. This week, your hosts are Kingsley, Mac, Sin, and Des Raven, and our guest, as always, is Sin's controller. How you doing, Sin's controller?
Clickety-clackety like always, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hate, just appreciate.
But what's been going on? Anything in life that we want to talk about?
Other than missing Dez?
It sounded like you said missing Diz, but then I knew you meant Dez.
Yeah, I meant Dez. Same thing. It's the West Virginia accent in me.
Yeah.
But I'll tell my little spiel real quick. Been nothing but working. Obviously, I'm doing 2 gigs right now as far as job and hustles in real life. Big thing that for me this week is, and this is a shout out to Dizzy from the Drunk Destiny podcast. He did a video intro for me for podcast and video, not podcast, videos and kind of what do you call them? Pre-rolls. He did a pre-roll video for me. About 8-9 seconds, something like that, and did an excellent job. So I appreciate him for knocking that out for me. And other than that, like I said, working. I played a little bit this week. Other than that, Des Raven, what have you been doing?
Things.
I would say there's probably 3 weeks of stuff we need to catch on, man.
Basically,
tell us every detail of every day.
I want a play-by-play.
Well, let's see. I guess Monday, March 28th. No, not doing that. No.
Okay. Fair enough.
But no, as some or many or all may know, currently without a way to get on the PlayStation right now, but it's fine. I've hit a couple snacks, some delays, but it'll happen. And I'm kind of enjoying / going crazy, doing everything else, really. Having time to watch shows and bury myself nose deep into my gachas, so...
Now, was one of those shows Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Of course.
I haven't watched the newest one, but I've been really enjoying it.
Oh, God.
I guess by the, oh, God, I missed a bunch.
No,
I need to watch it.
That's sad because, I've been talking in Guardian Down rarely, or about every Saturday or Sunday. Just talking about episodes and implications that they're having here, and it was brought to my attention this series is only 6 episodes long.
Oof.
6 hour, I assume, hour-ish or whatever.
40,
I don't know.
Yeah, roughly
30 to 40. I thought,
gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe not quite an hour.
Episode 5 is an hour, not an hour runtime, but an hour total, and some change. So episode 6 might follow that suit. But yeah, it is like freaking fantastic. Like, uh,
Nice. I gotta watch it. I might watch it the night after. You talk me into it.
I mean, yeah, it's got so many implications and stuff. So
And I've been meaning to start this show, so obviously that sounds like a big thumbs up to me. I wanted to start it. I pushed it back. I kind of started watching some other things. I started Big Love on HBO, but I do want to.
Why does that sound like an erotica?
Oh, do you not know what it is?
No.
So it sounds even weirder, right? If you don't know what it is, do you know what it is, Des? That's okay.
I'm wanting to say I have, but I can't recall. Like,
it's actually an older show. Bill Paxton. Who else is in it? But basically, it's a show about fundamentalist Mormon polygamy.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I thought that was it.
So not the mainstream church, obviously, because the mainstream church doesn't believe in that or sanction that, but the fundamentalists was a group that broke off. But there are actually small groups of people that live in southern Utah, northern Arizona, right on the border, that still kind of practice it. But this is a show that just kind of talks about it with his 3 wives and just the craziness that they have to go through. So it's actually not as like salacious or crazy as I thought it would be. Some parts are kind of just like almost like silly or slapstick, but I love those HBO series. I still haven't even seen Sopranos yet. I'm just kind of going through like all the good HBO shows that I haven't seen and take my time catching up on all them.
Nice.
Fair. Yeah, fair.
And there's 6 seasons of this, so it has Amanda Seyfried. How do you say her name? Her last name?
Seyfried.
Yeah, I think
Seyfried. Yeah,
but
you know who I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
The person I don't think people thought whose career would blow up, because I think she was in a lot of movies with what's her name? Megan Fox.
Oh, okay.
Which, Megan Fox was the, I guess, pick for superstardom in the short term, but I personally feel Amanda Seyfried had a better career run.
Yeah, but she's like plays a younger part in this series. She's like the daughter. Like an older teen daughter. And then the moms are Janine Tripperhorn, Chloe Sevigny, how do you say that actress? But I'm sure if you've seen her name spelling, she's a common actress. And then Jennifer Goodwin. And It's just kind of hilarious, the show. It also has Bruce Dern in it. It's kind of funny too. But anyways, yeah, I have the Winter Soldier on my list also. And I've noticed, like, I've seen pings of your post, Des, and other people, but because I still have pop-ups for everything Guardian Down Discord, but I don't read any of it yet because I just kind of want to wait on that.
But yeah, it's a lot of implications, but also, to be fair, if you're like, for really anyone that's kind of this late to start it, you might as well wait till Friday, and that way you can binge the entire thing.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So,
there we go.
So there is that. But yeah, like I said, it's a really good show. It's definitely a little more active than WandaVision was, considering WandaVision had a few episodes to like snowball, where it kind of started a little slow and then got into it. This series definitely more feels like a miniature Marvel movie.
Okay.
So it's got
cool.
that going. And they dive a lot into basically who Falcon and I keep calling him Bucky, but they really dive into like what really makes these characters. So it's really cool to get to know those two as characters.
Yeah.
Before before one or both of them have very major roles later in the MCU. No spoilers, though.
No spoilers.
But of
Only
course, if you
some
follow
spoilers.
I mean, I was about to say, if you follow the comics, I mean, you kind of already know where it might go. So, anyway, also, fun fact, which I didn't realize this until like the third episode. The actor, well, because whether you have watched the show or not, there's a new Captain America in the show that the government selects, and that is John Walker, I believe. The actor, I forget his name too, which makes me really sad. Oh God, no wait, what's his name?
I don't even
His
know the
father.
dude's name.
I know. I forget his father. Like the actor that plays him is the son of an incredibly famous Hollywood actor. Give Google like 30 seconds here
Yeah, for
while
sure.
I talk. Not Paul Walker, John Walker. Dumb
John
brain.
Walker. Well, yeah, but
John Walker, actor, because I really want to know his name. There we go. Not him. That's definitely not him. That. Oh God! Come on now, people.
live updates, Sin. What are you doing in the game right now?
Proving Grounds.
That's right. How's that Proving Grounds going?
It's mindless right now. I need heavy ammo and I don't have it. But that's okay. I'm getting my sniper kills in for these Proving Ground. We have to get so many kills. You got to unlock so many of these mods for one of these triumphs. So it's a lot of multitasking.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I remember doing. Yeah, just let us know when you get that. Des, no worries.
I'm
Interrupt away once you know.
Google is freaking failing me right now.
Aw.
Okay, there's Sebastian Stan. There's Anthony Mackie. Wyatt Russell, who is the son of Kurt Russell.
Oh, okay. Because I'm glad you said that because for some reason, just the name White Russell, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I probably wouldn't have made that connection unless you said that either.
But no, yeah, he is the son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. And without the cowl, he definitely looks it. But with the entire getup, as memes have shown, he kind of looks like the guy from Up.
Okay. The old guy?
Yeah. And I've also made the joke that he has something of a Jay Leno chin or jaw. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I see.
But
that.
again,
Very much so. Very much so.
But hilariously, without the headpiece, doesn't quite look that pronounced. With the headpiece, it looks like his jaw is massive.
Agreed.
But yes. So fun fact.
Well, cool.
And apparently he actually auditioned for the role of Steve Rogers in the first Captain America movie. So apparently almost got that, but Chris Evans took it away. So yeah, very, very interesting though.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, some Destiny talk this evening. Sen, other than what you're doing right now, anything interesting you remember doing this last week? Any updates of fun and exciting things you've done in the, or at least accomplishments?
Trials. I got another roll for my the hand cannon, the Igneous Hammer. Yep. This time I got a rapid hit snapshot.
Not bad.
So not bad. I think my other one was a little bit better. I don't even know where I put that. It's not even on this character. But yeah.
And how was Trials?
Awful.
I think I was watching you guys play a little bit, or at least I heard about what was going on. But it does.
Oh yeah, you were
seem
watching
like,
Helios' stream.
Okay, that's right. But I feel like it's not just you all. I seem to remember hearing from others that Trials was kind of back. It wasn't like how it was a few weeks ago, where more people were in it and you at least had some chances of winning. It's kind of getting crazy again.
Mm-hmm. Verston did pop into the chat right before, and he did say Trials was quote unquote hot garbage. But I also played a little bit of Iron Banner also. Not as much as I probably have in other weeks. But yeah, it's been fun. One thing that I haven't done in a long time has been a raid.
Well,
I need to do one again.
We have one coming up Wednesday night, but I think it is full. But we can get some going. That I've done a couple this week. Last week I didn't do as many, but this week, even today during the day, there was a last minute one that came together. A newerish member in our community in the Discord. Let me see if I can pull up the name here. We were just mentioning it earlier. Retro Angel had not ever done any D2 raids, even though he has done some D1 raids in the past. And got him a clear through Deepstone today. So that was
nice.
Pretty good. Shout out also Mr. Monkey was in the crew, and Go Hawks, and who's okay, our other UK friend. Let me just pull up
while you're doing that,
our stats channel, right? So we can see.
Yeah. But I've been I know you guys were working on the garden triumphs. I really wanted to get in and do that. So maybe I just need to bite the bullet and start making my own raid, raising the raid bot and get that done.
Well, yeah, that, and also be available Friday or Saturday night. Not work late.
That one gets a little bit more tough. Our my GSM, my immediate boss, his last day at the dealership was this past Friday. So Saturday I worked by myself. I had to handle all the transactions for the day. We did 11. And then today, before I left, fortunately the GM was there. He closed with our internet sales manager, and we did 5 before I left at 5 o'clock, and they did 2 more after I left. So we've had the business and just not enough support. So my rear end is tired, needless to say.
For sure. And, what I said is easier said than done. I understand. But I bet a lot of us would be willing to wait for you if you weren't too tired then to do a raid like later, if you got home later or whatever. We could be flexible at least on that side, but I totally understand if then you were too tired to do because garden, especially with triumphs, could easily be a 2-hour thing.
Right. I mean, it's the last couple times we've done it, it's gone pretty smooth. At least when I've been on.
Yeah,
there.
but with triumphs, it just depends on which one.
I just don't need divinity, so no divinity for me.
Divinity's easy for us, anyways. Yeah. No, but and if you ever create a raid bot thing, I bet people would join. But I do want to just real quick give the shout outs. I pulled up the raid here. Cloud Nebula are their UK friend, and Ninja Muffin and Lumina also were helping out.
Nice.
Oh, he's UK.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
great guy.
Interactions with Colette. I haven't been able to play with him yet, but I've had interactions with him. As his profile picture suggests, something of a Final Fantasy fan. So,
yeah. So
it might have.
Oh, go ahead.
Cloud, possibly. Hang on, there's someone a while back. Yeah, that was Cloud. Who finally, after years of me saying it, finally recognized me as an MMO guy, and looked for recommendations or my thoughts on something specific, which I appreciate that. But yeah,
that's good. That's good. Yeah,
got a kick out of that, and that's a couple weeks late. But everything for me right now is a couple weeks late. So,
well, we have good people that join up in the community, and I mean, we just love whether we're doing PvP, raiding, whatever with everyone. Everyone's pretty cool. Everyone's pretty chill, unless you're going with Gator into Crucible. But other than that, no one gets too salty. Just kidding. Oh man.
I used to get salty, but the past couple, even this last time in trials, I'm like cussing in my own mind, and then I'm like, whatever. It is what it is.
What was it else is going to say? Oh, yeah. And then today, I know, Sin, you already have this, and you were telling me to get. I'm like, I'm not sure if I care, but of course, I just naturally got closer and closer. So today I was able to finish Gilded Dredgen.
Oh, nice. GG's.
Thank you. Thank you. It was really the wins that took the longest, right?
I mean, it wasn't still. I mean, if you really got down to it and just focus your time on getting that particular thing done, it's really not that bad. But I mean, if you're just
not, but that still took the longest for me out of all the other times.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
What was it, 40, 50 wins we had to get? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then, of course, I hate invading and guardian kills, but, I just decided to go easy mode and put on Eyes of Tomorrow and just run in with that. So it worked well for me.
Told you.
Right? I mean,
I told everyone, if you're not used to invading, throw on Eyes, get a couple tracks, let loose.
And it gives me, what's the word, confidence, so that when I get even if I only get like 2 kills or something, I mean, I've gotten a fair amount of Army of One with Eyes of Tomorrow, but on average, more like 2 or 3. But then that's okay because I know 2 are down, and I feel even more confident to run out because 2 are already down. And then my PvE loadout for Gambit right now is SMG Fusion and then Anarchy, so not really good for dealing with invaders or bringing invaders down. But still, when I was invading, I would throw on Eyes of Tomorrow, and I would still keep my Fusion. And then if 2 are down, then I'd run out real quick and try to Fusion another one, and often I would get 1 or 2 more because the fusions work really well for close combat in Gambit. If you can get a pick on them first, and if they're not sniping or something, I will 90% of the time, one shot fusion them to death. So they don't expect it. They're like, oh, because you're running close, maybe you're going to be a shotgunner. No, I'm going to get you a little bit further distance than a shotgun. Well, I know Fellwinters is crazy and all, but still. And in Gambit, you have that even more than Crucible, where they're just kind of fixated on maybe someone else or something. I can't tell you how many times I've just sideswiped fusion someone because they're not paying attention. I just hit them from the side.
All right, for sure.
Yeah. Nice. Speaking of Fellwinters, another shout out to another podcast, Destiny Nerds podcast. I don't know if anybody else is listening to them, but
they better be.
Previous guest of ours, Bearded Luke, gets his podcast along with his co-hosts. They had a guest on Cool Cheese this week. I just started listening to it on the way home tonight. Dude's young. I think he's 18 now, but he had mentioned something about duality. Apparently, is the damage fall off on it is actually further out than Fellwinters, and I don't think a lot of people know about it or use it.
Yes, because the masterwork gives it like an insane amount of range, but of course, aiming down sights because it becomes a slug, and it can rival Chaperone, but not with Roadborne active. Now, the only issue with the pellet is the fact that unlike Fellwinter, there's no barrel choke. There's nothing to keep the pellets from going RNG, which is most shotguns' biggest weakness. And that's why Fellwinters is actually so strong, because, well, much like it was in D1, shot package.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think to add upon that, Sin and Des, I think I was hearing from some people too, especially with Fellwinter's nerfs, duality would be very likely
the choice.
Yeah, unless something else.
Even with Masterwork, it becomes a very interesting tool to use in PvP. Because if you're using it at very close range, hip firing, it does great as a pellet shotgun. But then where most pellet shotguns fail, duality can excel because it can outreach any pellet shotgun by aiming down sights for the slug variation. So it's a very interesting, very, very interesting tool to use.
Interesting, Smithers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, basically, if you're using duality, I mean, like I said, hip fire closer than what you anticipate, especially if you're getting the jump on someone. But definitely get used to the slug because, like I said, the only thing that can beat it, essentially, if I remember properly anyway, is indeed the chaperone. Like, there's probably a few legendary slugs that can match it, but I don't think any of them can beat it out. I don't think. Lumina might be able to correct me on that one, though. Being a little more familiar with slug shotguns. I try to get better with slug shotguns, but you need to aim.
Right. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good for sure.
Well, we have less than a month left in the season. The season ends. The new one begins May 11th. But by the time you hear this podcast, and as we all know, Guardian Games is coming up. And, it's kind of, in some aspects, from we are going to see same old, but in other aspects, they're adding some cool things. So I just wanted to talk about it at least a little bit, and whatever you all want to talk about with it. And I don't know, we can pull up the TWAB. We don't have to go over every line, just whatever you want to read, whatever I want to read. Let me see here. Part of this is because this is one of the first weeks in a long time I didn't read over this super detailed. So I kind of want to get a feel for this before it starts again. But I'll tell you, I think I'm a little more excited with this year's Guardian game than last year's. I think there's a little more change and nuance, and we'll see. And of course, again, the armor is still pretty cool. I'm looking at this armor again. And then did you see also, we can go back up to the top again, but at the bottom of the TWAB, they show, well, not the very bottom, but they show there's also an ornament set. Did you all see that yet?
No.
So there's the really colorful, they show the Warlock yellow, the Titan red, and the Hunter blue. And it's pretty cool as it is. And then there's an ornament set down further. And then it's kind of funny. The Warlock, doesn't that almost look like something you would wear riding like a horse, like a preppy, hello, I got my horse and I'm riding, like some rich person.
Would you say you got your horses in the back?
No, like rich people horsing, not like
rich people horsing.
I don't know. I'm just eating my words here. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I believe the terminology you're looking for is an equestrian.
Yeah,
an equestrian rider, a show rider.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Dennis, for rescuing me.
Rich people.
well, I know it's not just rich necessarily, but the outfit makes me think of you see those shows of the rich Northeast or UK
exactly
people,
exactly, like it's stereotyped for the high class individuals. Yes.
But those Titan ornaments are way cool. I don't know if you're Sin, pull it up. You gotta check this out.
I am. This is actually the first time I'm looking at this. Not going to lie, with my busy week. So I'm pulling them up now.
I haven't looked at it a lot either.
I remember the golf ball, not the golf ball, but the tennis ball, ghost, and let's see, ornaments.
There's a sports bottle ghost. You kidding me?
Oh,
yeah. The ornaments are down a little bit further when you see another set of. It's above the sports bottle ghost, but you can see the three of them. Slightly different armor.
Yeah. So you're going for equestrian with that?
For the Warlock equestrian, and the Titan is pretty cool looking, and the Hunter has a very electric, very electric, beetle. Or dragonfly wing. Okay.
Hey, big bad Beetleborgs. Anyway,
the sports bottle ghost. This looks like a plush toy ghost, the one above it or something. These sparrows are they all kind of have this very colorful, all the ghosts and things have and the sparrows like a kind of like that yellow, blue, red, very bright, colorful. The ship, it's one of those long, pointy ships, but the base of the ship has the colors on it. Then there's another ship Yeah, just everything's kind of that bright aspect. But then there's the tennis ball ghost. Sin, it's calling out to you.
Which, yeah,
I don't know why, but I thought of you, Sin, when I saw that. You want the tennis ball ghost?
All right. Not sure why, but okay.
Well, it started as a joke. I was like, before they gave us the article, when they just had the trailer, I'm like, this is all that I really see that's new or interesting is the tennis ball ghost. Because the trailer, it was cool and all, but it wasn't the best. But I'm glad in the TWAB they gave us more information.
For sure.
Yeah.
I am excited to see how these ornaments, because they do make special mention that they've been working on ornaments taking shaders better. So, and I believe these ornaments for Guardian games are like within that.
Yeah. And it's almost like we're getting prepped too, of course, for next season with the change of the shaders, which, by the way, another reminder, you can dismantle any shaders you don't immediately need. Starts dismantling now, or at least by the end of the season, in your inventory, because they will all be unlocked if you've ever earned them in the past. So if you dismantle them now, you will get glimmer and or legendary shards.
Yeah, and I need glimmer, so I've been doing that.
I started getting rid of my smaller stacks, but I have a few like stacks of like in the hundreds. I'm like, I don't know. Able to slowly work on some here and there.
Would you say there are stacks on you, Patron on
Stacks
ice?
Stacks. Ooh.
Would you say you could pop bottles all night?
I'm not 100% familiar with that reference.
You can have whatever you like. I know. It's a song, but okay. We'll just go with that. Some people might know it.
Okay. While we're down at the bottom of the TWAB here, this had been rumored for a while, but everyone's favorite exotic, heir apparent, is back for more, where we can earn its catalyst.
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty stoked about that catalyst.
Now, did they say what it's going to do?
Not entirely.
They just said, we'll provide even beefier shields for you as you Cabal stomp your way through the battlefield.
Cabal stomp.
Yeah, it's a very vague, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Wait, what if we actually could Cabal stomp? We could stomp ads back. That would never happen. But imagine.
Next video, 5 Cabal Stomps versus Taniks.
Nice.
Can it happen?
We will see, I guess.
I was about to say, if it happens, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because they'll try it.
All right.
Man.
Oh, God, now I forget the name of that YouTuber that does that.
Let's go to the top of the TWAB. We can try to just talk about whatever points we feel is important. Blah, blah, blah. Different points for different medals. Now, they did say that they're changing up a little bit on the scoring system.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
The pity mechanic. Yeah.
Yeah. The pity mechanic.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Well, either pity mechanic, comeback mechanic, depending upon what genre of games you're in. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Instead
Welfare
of
mechanic, I've also heard it called.
Yeah, because that's different. Because last year wasn't it just the classes that had less population just got a buff the whole time, right? Is that how it worked?
Yes,
well,
that's correct.
They do mention that the population adjustment is still going to happen because hunters are too many still, apparently.
So this is what I was trying to. I'm glad we're going through this because I needed to clarify.
Yeah. So, because I think warlocks might have been the least populated, but not by far against Titans. So their adjustment was still very close to one another.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hunters just had like an awful like nerf to what they could do. Purely, I mean, it kind of makes sense because if they didn't, hunters would have easily been able to like take away the entire thing. So I get that, but they do go ahead and warn us that these population adjustments still exist, but a new mechanic that is starting is whoever finishes a day in last will get a permanent 10% gain to their points.
Permanent, like through the rest of the activity?
I mean, I'm guessing that's what they mean by permanent.
Yeah, to the rest of the Guardian games, basically, is what I got out of that.
Yeah.
That would almost incentivize somebody for throwing like the first few.
But that's the danger, because the more you throw it first, I mean, that's the thing about a comeback mechanic. Yes, you can rely on it like heavily, but you always run the risk of giving the other team more incentive to do more and thus gain more because of their comeback mechanic. So it's a give and take, but they did mention they ran simulations with this bonus on last year's numbers, and according to them, it gave some very competitive results. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I heard mentioned, I think it was on Guardian Down and podcast, and hopefully this year the programming is a little bit better. But remember the whole flag thing? Like, it didn't seem like it changed that often, and a lot of people were just kind of disincentivized looking at the flags. Like, they were always like almost like the same amount. There was only like certain. I understand it's not like they have a very fluid up and down throughout the day, but it just seemed like they didn't change enough to make it worth really looking at the flags. And if they could make them change a little bit more, it might actually give people incentive, because they can see, oh, we're getting a little bit closer, so we got to try, as opposed to it just staying there forever and then it never moves unless you're like super close, or I don't know, remember what all the rules were last year.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I never looked at the flags. I just did
Gotcha.
stuff.
Yeah. But what's also cool is, well, yeah, like you mentioned, they tested that last year. It was competitive. They say hunters will likely win on early because of their population advantage, but as the bonuses kick in, the competition should tighten up quickly.
I mean, they say that, but hunters were like never first last year, except for maybe the first day.
First day, I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
because
that now.
after that first day, they told us, oh yeah, hunters are not earning as many points, and like most of the hunters just stopped.
Yeah.
So it's like, why? I mean, so if hunters actually participate this year, maybe, it might be a closer game between the Titans and the Warlocks this year, though.
Yeah. Well, this next part I'm really excited about, if you want to read this. And then I'm curious from you two if you think you're okay. Anyways, let's just read it, and then I'll ask the question, because it'll make more sense afterwards. So, Guardian Games playlist. Another new addition this year is the Guardian Games Strike playlist. This is like standard Vanguard strikes, but will group players together by class. This feeds into the laurel collecting mechanic, where players have a chance at bonus laurels when they pick up a laurel generated by a player of the same class. So obviously that means if you go into that playlist, and if you play as a warlock, you'll be teamed up with other warlocks. If you play as a hunter, other hunters, and if you play as a titan, other titans. In addition to that, the new playlist will have gameplay modifiers based on the previous day's class standing. So this is pretty cool too. Classes will get a beneficial modifier tied to gold, silver, and bronze placement. So if you were gold, you'll get health shields, health, shields, and recovery are increased. Also, kinetic weapons deal more damage. So basically, that sounds like kind of like, well, it's not Daybreak. You're not getting your supers back quicker, but obviously, kinetic will be pretty big deal. And then silver, you will get melee abilities will recharge faster, elemental damage increased from guardian sources, and more heavy ammo available. And then if you were bronze, and if you go in, you get grenade abilities deal more damage and recharge much faster. Elemental damage increased from guardian sources. I feel like I'm going to need a spreadsheet when I go. Are they going to tell us on the screen? Or we're like, okay, wait, we were bronze, so we'll get these abilities.
I hope so, because that does sound like a lot.
Yeah, because that's not it, Sin. There are also
wait,
negative modifiers. There
is more.
And the negative modifiers are added to the playlist to make things a little more challenging for the leaders. The gold class gets 2 modifiers. The silver class gets 1. These modifiers are themed around the classes that finish lower on the podium. All right. So, Titan, if you were to get bronze, then combatant melee attacks deal more damage. And if you were to have gotten silver, combatant melee attacks deal significantly more damage. Warlock for bronze, incoming damage increased while airborne. Oh, I do not like that. And of course, silver, incoming damage significantly increased while airborne. I mean, this all makes sense, right? Because Titans like to go running in, Warlocks like to be in the air. And Hunter, radar is disabled for bronze. And for silver, radar is disabled and combatants don't flinch when damaged. That's interesting.
I feel like we got the better end of that stick.
Yes. We'll move on. Silver classes only get the modifier from the bronze class below them. Gold classes get a combination of both silver and bronze. Basically, oh yeah.
With the, like I said, I don't feel they worded that or like set this up incredibly great. But yeah, so if you finish gold, you get more negative modifiers. If you finish silver, you get a slight negative modifier. But if you finish bronze, even though it says bronze, you actually don't get a negative modifier from the sounds of it.
That's what it sounds like. And then, of course, we also get the positive modifiers too, depending on how you finish.
Still, I feel hunters have the easier.
Yeah.
As always.
Oh, radar's disabled. Shucks.
What? For these strikes we've done a million times, we probably know where all the spawn points are,
Right. I mean, the most aggravating part is the combatants not flinching, which is just the most annoying modifier, which I believe is iron, where they have more health and they don't flinch. It's just annoying because, taking phalanxes, normal phalanxes, most things that might flinch and interrupt an action, they suddenly don't. Otherwise, still not that bad.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm actually quite excited as a warlock. I love the idea of going in with all warlocks and just throwing down wells, nova bombs, everything like that. My speculation, and please tell me if I'm wrong, but hunters may not be as excited going in with all hunters. It's just kind of like, eh. And then Titans could be cool, I guess, if you're all doing like Thunder Crash or something. But are you guys excited about the same subclass or same class playlist?
And different.
It'll be interesting. I mean, you get a tether with 2 goldies on, and you're gonna wreck some shop.
Yeah, and that I'm sure is what would happen. I just, I don't know. I just think of like the hunters as like the lone wolf, and yeah, that's nice to play with other hunters, but we're okay either way. But like the warlocks are the geeky. Oh yes, we can have all warlocks.
But hilariously, the last few times I even remember playing strikes, I ended up with full hunter teams anyway.
No, okay.
I mean,
yeah, that can definitely happen.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a nice thing. Like, it'll be cool and all.
It's a nice touch. I'm glad they tried something.
Yeah.
This isn't like.
And I do like the fact that they are giving us an avenue to a little more easily grind it out. I mean, yes, it strikes. People are going to moan. People are going to groan. Gator. About running strikes, which people are just, they'll run ahead, then run ahead with them. I mean, come on. Anywho.
Keep up, scrub.
Still love you, though. Which as I've said to myself, I think I've actually warned him. He would not like running strikes with me.
Oh yeah,
I am one of those.
That run,
As
yeah.
my name suggests, I am that guy. I'm going to kill the minimal. I'm going to kill the minimal things I need. I speed run like 100%. If I've played a strike 1,000,005 times, I'm going to kill what I need to kill, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to get to the boss. I'm going to murder it, and then I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
But,
There's a couple times.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're just trying to go for completions, of course. But like I was running some strikes with you, Sin, and I forget who else the other day, and it was the one, on the Tangled Shore, and the goat ends with the wizard, at the end. And I just stayed in the opening area, where you can just farm ads right there while you two were running ahead, because I had something I was working on. I forget what it was.
Stasis and strikes.
Probably. That's probably what I was doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to finish that myself.
Yeah. So
I'm
we
killing live update, just so you know. Just so you don't get lost.
All right.
Gambit. I'm killing my last couple primeval what are they? Primeval
envoys
for the weekly challenge.
Those. Yeah, I have like 6 more, so I just jumped into Gambit.
Nice. Are you closest at all to getting
6
all
away.
the seasonal weekly challenge? Okay. I did also get that done. It comes with a pretty cool emblem, which I like emblems, so that was worth it for me to kind of pump through that and get my 75 out of 77. You don't have to actually get all of them. You just need to have at least 75. So the 2 I did not do were 7 trials wins, well, rounds. And then I also did not finish in the kills in the Lost Sector. That one was kind of annoying.
Oh, I still need to do that one too, but I need to. I got my 7 wins from 7 ships with 7 sails trials.
Okay, back on this real quick. We have a metal case that's called the metal case that we received from Eva to store our quote hardware until we're ready to visit the podium. Basically our wins, our medals. You can only hold on to so many before you need to turn them in, because if you don't, any more earned will be lost. So basically they're stopping groups from hoarding so that they can probably get a more accurate representation all the time of where everyone stands. And then we also have contender card. This one I did not read at all. Let's see.
They sound like special bounties that allow you to get more gold and even platinum medals.
Mm-hmm.
And if you finish a platinum contender card, you get an all-star bonus for the weigh-in, cash-in, judging, whatever phase. Podium ceremony. There we go.
Yeah. What's this whole podium ceremony thing too? I don't understand. And I read in a tweet that they extended it also. It was originally like the 9th through the 11th or something, but I thought I read somewhere that it's getting extended. Oh, no, maybe it was the 7th to the 9th, but now it's the 7th to the 11th is what they're showing in the TWAB. Podium ceremony.
Oh, yeah. Every weekend there will be a special ceremony where you'll be able to show off the glow from your class item, depending upon the class's standing. So it's kind of like before, but I guess gaudier.
Okay.
So yeah, third place receives bronze glow. Second is a silver glow. First place is a gold glow. All stars will receive a platinum glow.
Okay.
Nice.
So how they're going to differentiate the platinum from the silver, I have no idea.
Yeah, what's a platinum glow?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like when you're taking metals and turning it into light shades, or even shades in general, like platinum and silver are incredibly similar to one another.
Yeah, I know, right?
So what is platinum? Is it going to have a blue tinge?
Who knows? So they say that is every weekend, but then there's the actual finals weekend closing ceremony, the 7th to the 11th, and there will be a special celebration going on. I mean, I'm just imagining like whoever wins, and there's like consistent like confetti coming out of cannons behind it or something. Who knows what's going to happen there?
Our little
Hey,
miniature statue.
In the picture below that, they actually do show confetti if you're looking on the 12. So you never know. I might be right. I want to see confetti cannons in the tower. Come on, Bungie.
I mean, they did have fireworks from the goalposts in the hangar area. Why not? It should be an easy program, you'd think.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else we want to mention about this? Scrolling. There's IRL jackets you can buy.
I did see those. Like, I didn't look at them a lot, but they did interesting. They did kind of look interesting. I'm not going to lie.
Almost kind of like a track looking zip up collared jacket.
And then apparently a chance to get a gold pin. Yep. Oh no, yeah. Participating in the final weekend's closing ceremonies will allow you to get a gold pin of your class. But silver pins are, of course, apparently already on sale. So yeah.
Really? I've been collecting all these freaking pins, like or the medallions or seals or whatever. I need to put those in the shadow box. So I might be game for that.
More pins. Silver class pins are available now at the Bungie store while you compete with your fellow Guardians to achieve gold. And then again, participating in the closing ceremonies will allow you to buy a gold pin.
Okay. I'm game. Let's do this, Titans.
And also, there is another vote. Because as they mentioned last month, they held a vote on what armor people would like to feature for Festival of Lost. Well, now they're giving us a choice of 12 weapons, exotic weapons, to have a Festival of the Lost ornament.
Really?
Yes, these options are Crimson, Fighting Lion, Graviton, Landslay Monarch, Merciless, Risk Runner, Skyburner's Oath, Sunshot, Sweet Business, Telesto, Trinity Ghoul, and Vigilance Wing.
And the survey's still going on. I don't think they said when it's going to end, but it's still live as of right now as we're recording. I haven't voted yet.
I haven't either, but I might click it up. Live clickety-click. Let's do it.
I don't know. I actually never voted on the last one either.
I kind of want to do some research because to me it'll be a blend of. I mean, yeah, I would just pick like Telesto and Sunshot as my two main, but I do want to put a little bit of gravity into like maybe weapons that don't really have many ornaments so far, in case it's another one that I like, because I feel like Telesto and Sunshot already have some pretty cool ornaments.
Sunshot has one really cool ornament, so it's good.
Yeah, you're right. I know which one you're talking about. I've used that before. And then even Telesto, they're fine, although I could always use another one.
I mean, yeah, they're cool. But, yeah. I mean, if we're going to talk about, like, that, I think, I'm not even sure if the Monarch has an ornament.
Yeah, and I think there was some talk in the Discords, if I'm not mistaken, Lumina or someone saying everyone needs to vote for Luminarch because it doesn't have it, or it's something that I need. Sorry, I mean, he talks about in the Discord, but Mia wants or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's simping out right now, so yeah.
Love you, Lumina. Okay, I'm picking Sunshot, I'm picking Telesto, and what else should I pick? I'll let you guys pick my third.
I did pick Telesto. And I just picked something else because I didn't really care at that point. None of them were interesting enough for me.
I know. I guess Crimson. I don't know. I'm just trying to pick weapons that I actually use more.
Crimson does have some selections. Black Death, Silver Bullet.
I think I picked Graviton because the ones I have aren't good.
Final for me. I'm picking Luminarch as my third.
I mean, yeah, because like I said, I already figured Lumina would push Lay Monarch, but God, and I've been lurking forever. But no, yeah, like Like I said, Late Monarch, if it even has one, it might only be one. So it would be nice to get Late Monarch an ornament finally. Like I said, most of these are either weapons no one's going to use, or already has like some really good ornaments like attached to it. Like maybe fighting the lion, but then again, that's kind of a niche weapon. Graviton Lance might only have one or two itself, so it could probably use a decent one.
Yeah, I don't think they're good.
Risk Runner has a couple of good ones, I think. Not great ones, but decent ones. Skyburner, no one uses Skyburner's Oath. All right, no one.
Yeah.
People use it long enough to get the catalyst and then it's tossed back in the vault. The most use I've seen out of Skyburners was people using it when Battlegrounds first popped in. And then I never saw it again. Sweet Business is a meme gun.
Yeah.
And then there's Telesto, which is about the same. I don't know, does Trinity? Trinity might have one. And then Vigilance Wing actually does have some really good ones, I feel.
Well, while
So
I was
there's
thinking about that,
Informed.
yeah, there you go. I do feel like we should say, I mean, it may be obvious, and I'm sure the quest will tell you when you start it, but there are some important things, a couple of known issues coming up. When you're participating in Guardian games, you need to keep on your class item, or else you will not be earning any laurels.
And not last year's class items. Those class items are worthless.
Yes.
They still look amazing, but they are worthless.
They will not generate laurels or progress.
Yes.
Any Guardian Games bounties.
Wear the new hotness, not the old and busted.
Mm-hmm.
Brownie points for anyone that gets that reference.
Here come the men in black.
You ruined it, but I do love the fact that you got
it. Considering I like my movies, and most of the time I probably know what you're talking about.
I thought they did this last year too, but okay, laurels will drop on the ground and strike, so we have to run over them. But in Gammon and Crucible, they do not. They are just given to us directly. Any unrecovered laurels do not go to the postmaster. It must be picked up to count. So that's, again, mostly for strikes, right?
Yeah. That's right. In theory, we should be drowning in laurels in that strike playlist. So,
I mean, a lot of these things seem obvious, but I'm just kind of going through them just in case. Case is full, like we said. Any additional ones will be lost.
I still don't know how I feel about that edition.
The laurel acquisition step of Heir Apparent Exotic Quest only counts laurels picked up off the ground, so that must mean Crucible strikes. And only do strikes for that part for the Heir Apparent Quest.
Do you remember that last week or so when I said, "Hey, I thought I heard something about that"? This is like, yes, I said that.
Okay.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
You get a pass, sir. But Kingsley was there.
All right. And we talked about some of those other things. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, it'll be cool to kind of see how Guardian Games is or is not. I should have mentioned I've been playing Assassin's Creed some more. Still fully enjoying that game. So
nice.
I've been getting good value from the Xbox Games Pass. I know it's a subscription, but if you tend to play different games and dabble in things, I mean, Assassin's Creed, I always try to be more of a completionist. Of course, Destiny, all the stuff, but I've been having a lot of fun trying some other games on Games Pass, and don't feel so bad about not spending so much time in Outriders since it's supposedly having some issues anyways, and I haven't put a lot of time into it. Doesn't really matter too much because it's a portion of the pie of what I'm paying into the pot of the $15 a month. So,
don't you say pie?
So, Sin's controller. We like to ask guests at the end of the episode, what's your favorite dessert?
Moon pie.
Okay.
Wait, where did Des go?
Is he gone? Oh no, he's gone.
Hold on.
Wait. Let's bring him back. He's in the other area.
Yeah, I clicked him.
Hey, there we go.
I have no clue. I have no clue where you went.
No, that was,
I was like,
yeah, that was Discord bugging out on me because
No.
Kingsley just suddenly like dropped off mid-sentence. I'm like, hey, I know what that is.
Okay.
Oh man.
Well, we did have some people listening again this week. We're just kind of like not making a huge deal of this, but kind of having fun with our podcast live channel. I did make a new, if you want to chat with us or ask us questions, it's close to the actual podcast live listening channel. There's one that says podcast live chat. So you can feel free and go into there and ask us questions, and we may or may not answer them live on the show, but it's worth doing. Or Sin may get distracted by every single one last week.
Right.
The show and read them all.
That did happen.
Yes.
That did happen.
Yeah, hop in, join the conversation.
Yes. Derail Sin if you can.
Well, I'm good right now. I'm bourboning it up. I had a little dinner. I'm working on my triumphs. Derail me if you try.
Mm-hmm. And are you still doing the shiz, or did you move on to something else?
No, I did that earlier before. Oh wait, you're not talking about that.
No, the not the proving grounds, but the
Gambit.
You're in Gambit now?
No, I moved on. I got my Primeval Envoys. Now I'm going into Strikes for Stasis.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Dude, I need to cram as much in the very, very little bit of time that I do have. So the multitasking has to be on point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or just start to micro care about which completionist stuff you want to get done.
Well, I want to get to 75. I need the emblem.
Yeah.
You said it yourself earlier in the podcast. That emblem was kind of cool.
It is.
So
it is. Did you get I believe we did run a presage this week, right? Together? That's right. You got the rest of those, so you were able to get the chosen.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was this week or last week, but I did finish what I needed for presage.
As far as because I'm still I finished all the main things, but they still have that weekly captain's log thing. So I think we did.
Star date 3579.3.
Well, you did pretty good with that.
What, my Star Trek reference?
Yeah.
I tried.
Mohafo actually asks, which Assassin's Creed have you been into recently, Kingsley? Right? And how are you finding it? Yeah, it is the Valhalla game, the one that is most recently released. I have played all the other recent ones also, like Odyssey and I forget the name of the other one. Origins, yes. Thank you, Des. Valhalla is pretty interesting. I am enjoying it slightly more than the last one as far as the battles, the little quests, missions, battles, whatever, aren't as stale to me as the last one. They're still not insanely different from one to one, but they feel a little bit more fresh, like they change up a little bit here and there. I don't know if you can agree with that, Mohafo, but the game is huge. They took I think they took a year break this time, where before that they've been coming out almost each year, I feel like, one after another. Because, that studio is huge, so they can have different groups working on games simultaneously and whatever. But this one, I don't know how many hours I put into it. I got to look it up. But I'm still, if I had to guess, like 2/3 done with the map, and I don't even know if that takes you to the end of the storyline. I still have to get tons of the orders, or the the main bad guys, they call them the Order of the Ancients or whatever, but it's the people that fight against the assassins, basically. And they opened up river raids now, which are pretty cool. I really like that. I like how this game the boat ones in the past where you've kind of been on the sea is pretty cool, but this one you have smaller type boats where you're on these rivers, and you will go along the river, and it's a great kind of faster way to travel around the region. But then you'll have these raids that you will do where you'll come up to like a little town or like a church or something like that, and you blow your horn and you hit raid at the right spot, and everyone runs. The ship goes along the bank and everyone runs out, and everyone's like, running up and just killing people and then looting, and sounds pretty absurd, but there is depending on which town or church or area you go to, you'll get different rewards, and you have to you have like kind of characters underneath you, not quite NPCs, but characters underneath you that they will lose health over time, and you gotta if you have the ability to revive them, you can, and you have to go back before you lose all those revives, or else you lose your whole loot, that you've collected in your boat. So I don't know. I could see spending many, many hours when I'm not playing Destiny, because even with how many hours I put into it, I haven't done any of the completionist stuff either. I've just kind of been pushing through the storyline. If I wanted to go and do completionist on the map, I'm probably like 10% done with the game. So, yeah.
So you got a little while to go.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like Assassin's Creed has always been a little insane
It
on their
always has.
completionist items.
Yeah.
Like, even from the first one, because the first Assassin's Creed, you had this huge, central, mostly empty, mostly useless, hub area, but my God, it had so many, nooks and crannies to, collect banners and crap. It was a little ridiculous.
It is a little ridiculous, although I feel like the collectible stuff this time, some of them seem kind of more pointless, but others seem interesting too. The little amount that I've done, I'm like, oh, something's close, I might as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going through it. The thing I'm still haven't fully understood, and maybe Mohaf or anyone else can tell me that's listening to this, is the armor sets that you get and the weapons. I feel like I've never really earned anything that is worth replacing my main set that I have, because I've leveled up my main set, and it was like an exotic type set, so maybe because of that I have more abilities to level it up. But is this game, tell me if I'm incorrect, but I feel like this game has less variety of armor and weapons, but more to level up within that specific armor and weapons. And because of that, I've just been staying on the specific and leveling them up and putting in runes. You can put in runes to give different abilities there too. And I kind of like that. I kind of like the idea of leveling up my specific set versus switching to a different set. And that's what I want to understand more. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I mean, it's kind of also like the kind of had a bit of a feel in the newer ish, about to be not so newer, God of War.
Okay.
Because the armor that they had, and yes, it was upgradable and everything, but you didn't feel a need to change armor until it was like a drastic
so much. Nothing that I've earned or dropped has been any better if I look at the stats, unless I'm missing something.
I mean, the only thing I could think is potential higher end caps, but if you're not worried about that, I mean,
yeah,
there's if it's not making a problem, or if it's not a drastic difference, I mean, it's kind of a lie. Which, I don't know.
Well, the main thing about the game is the exploration aspect. I always need to spend more time just chilling in an area, watching the stream, the waterfall, the trees, but I'm always doing stuff. So, but I mean to just chill one of these days, just listen to music, listen to a podcast, listen to Guardian Down's 4-hour podcast that they're now at, and play Assassin's Creed.
Did I really see they have a part 1 and part 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. We have
which I will say, from a veteran long form podcast, don't break it up. Just put it out there. Your
Yeah.
listeners are already used to long podcasts. An extra hour isn't going to hurt anything. Most podcast apps have a direct resume feature. Just put it out there. Don't worry about breaking
Give
it
the
up.
people the stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's almost more annoying than it is helpful.
Hot take on Gator. Oh wait,
Hey,
Well,
I
the
felt
podcast.
I agree too. But I think it's something. It's people like to try different things.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I do give it to him
definitely
for
get
trying it.
Yeah. But like I said, the only downer is like most podcasting apps will have the most recent first. So listening to two parts sequentially
Yeah.
can be
Can be
annoying.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have an issue with that in my podcast app Overcast, which I recommend. I feel like there is a way to fix that, but I haven't spent the time to figure it out yet. Because you're right, I'm listening to an older one, and then if I have several in between, and then it'll go to the newest one next. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I want to go to the next oldest one.
Yeah, I think it's Podbean that I use. But I believe that has a toggle where you can sort it from either newest to oldest or oldest to newest, and that might work. But then again, you'd have to scroll all the way to the bottom to get to the newest. So yeah, it's a give and take. But like I said, that's my advice. But you don't need to listen to me.
YOLO.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone who was listening live, and thanks for everyone who's listening to this after the fact. We really appreciate it.
Mohafo, different strokes.
Yep, different strokes, different folks.
Call people out. No, we can call out because he gave us comments.
Yeah, hi Mohafo. I mean,
you too can listen live and get your name called out if you want.
Yeah, randomly, like a crazy old man yelling at clouds.
No, but it's. I do like the podcast live chat. That was fun. Anything else we want to talk about this week before we start wrapping up?
No, I don't think so.
Drink bourbon and be merry.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
In the words of Bill and Ted, be excellent to one another.
Mm-hmm.
Something. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I like it.
Well, let's give our info just because we do that every week. So, Taz, where can people find you?
You can find me, as always, sometimes on Twitter at DES_Raven when it chooses to notify me / when I choose to check it. And of course, you can find me lurking always in the Discord. Always. And of course, a minor shout out also to Two Titans and a Hunter podcast who shouted out the spreadsheet. Much love for that and for spreading the word also. And yes, again, I'm a couple weeks late, but I'm a couple weeks late on everything. So, Sin.
You can find me on Bearded Luke's stream buying Pokemon cards to watch him open them live. Or you can find me in Discord, Sin Media, or on Twitter at Sin_Media. Kingsley Upside Down Macklemore. Where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me and right now Upside Down Sin Media in the Discord. Meaning you have to keep it for a while, Sin.
I probably will. I'm too lazy to change it.
You can find me as Kingsley Mac in all the places. On Twitch, I stream occasionally, mostly while I'm raiding. On Twitter, though, there's one place you will find me different as MC Kingsley. And if you want to find our show, let's say you just stumbled across us some other way and don't know about our other channels, we also have our show on Twitter as The Guardian Hub. And we have our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
And that's right. It is the best hub on the net.
Yes. Well, one last thing I forgot. We got a review.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Let me pull this up. Let's see right here. Blah, 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 blah. One new review for the Guardian Hub. All right.
Ooh.
This is from, let me see here. It says Colbridge from Canada. Hopefully I'm reading that right. But anyways, it says 5 stars, best hub on the net. You have to tune into these guys every week. They have a lot of great information, great personalities, and have a great relaxed format. So follow the best hub on the net. Colbage from Canada. Colbage. I mean, I know some people from Canada that are in our group, but let me just pull up the website here to see if it's showing something differently. I use a review aggregator called My Podcast Reviews, and that may just be whoever the person used as their username on the review site. So you can let us know who you are if you want, but it just says Colbage from Canada on here.
Okay. My initial thought was Sweaty Spooks, but I know he's not the only one in Canada. It was just because he was on recently.
We have more than one Canadian friend.
I know we do. We have a few.
I know, but we do have. But I could see best hub on the net trying to, for sin's sake. Yeah. Thanks for the review, whoever you are. We really appreciate that. Like I said, we will read out reviews on the show.
We're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Colbage from Canada via Apple Podcast on April 6th.
All right.
Awesome.
We appreciate you.
We definitely appreciate you.
Not to be confused with cabbage. I'm sorry, but for some reason you're saying that, just it puts it in my head. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey,
we appreciate it.
We do have, even though we just don't have tons of written reviews, we do have more star reviews than written reviews.
Nice.
We have 27 ratings, just 16 reviews. And this is no big deal, but we have all of them are 5 stars, and we do have 1 1-star review. So sorry if someone actually meant that. I assume they didn't mean it as a joke or an accident. So if we are 1 star to you, no, I mean, we get it. It's not maybe for everyone, but also if there's anything you want to give us as a suggestion, we will listen.
Or not. Or you could,
or not.
Or you could. No, I'm going to save that comment for myself.
Hey, I just think the podcast aggregator, everyone gets different reviews. It's actually kind of cool to see this because then I know we're getting more reviews in. It's not just, our friends in the Discord, which are very important as reviewers. But, it's good to see more reviews coming in.
Well, I'm glad it gets it all. The 1 star is appreciated because you left the feedback. But on the same token, I'm glad you didn't come back. I'm just kidding.
I mean, also to be fair, if you're going to leave a 1 star, at least leave a comment.
Yeah.
You know, on what you didn't enjoy. But of course,
and your home telephone number and your address.
So
we're trying to be constructive here.
But no, we appreciate all reviews. Comment or not, the love is appreciated.
Yes,
absolutely.
Or lack thereof in some cases. I say some, but 1 case.
And make sure you send your address next time. This is how we do it from West Virginia. Just you wait.
It says, catch me outside. How about that?
Exactly.
Well, I really derailed us at the end there, but I did want to get this review in. So thanks again, Colbage.
Indeed.
Thanks, Kingsley, for effing that one up.
Hey, it's all the info to all the people. Well, anyways, we have, I know, a special fun guest coming up next week. But
tune in.
Tune in, and if you
glorious time
have any suggestions, let us know. We can always try for different people. So,
can we give a hint on the next week's guest?
I don't care. I was just worried in case they can't make it. But
all I want to say is the hint is going to be his beard is actually not red.
That's a good hint.
True fact.
Mm-hmm.
Despite appearances.
No, but we'll make it
an art.
We'll make it work for sure, even if things had to get delayed. So,
yeah,
no worries.
Don't we always?
Yes, we do. We do. Yeah. Well, seriously, we thank everyone for tuning in this week, and we will see you again next week. So have a good one.
Bye.
Later.
And seriously, send that address.